Hello. How do? Oh, my mic a bit loud. Hold on, let's turn that down a bit so I don't blow your heads off. Apologies. Didn't mean to shout at you. How you doing, guys? Hope you're all alright. Hope you haven't all melted over the last few days if you're in the UK. We're not used to this heat. We don't like it. So Mark's Mods, good evening. Evening Svi, it's a wet one today. Is it? It's that sucks. Although we could really do some rain here. It is still what is it at the moment? It is 21 degrees, so it's a lot cooler today. But we still haven't had any rain, any decent rain for quite some time. Everything's all dry and we're getting wildfires and loads of other stuff that we're not used to being a wet country. We're not used to it. We don't like it. So, what have I been up to? Well, the guitar that I was doing last time, old Dennis's guitar, is it's had 3 coats of clear on it, and I've just been wet sanding, getting all the orange peel out of it, and then I will give it another 3 coats of clear. So that is that's close to completion, but of course I can't show you the clear coating. So that's that, and the scratch plate as well, which is back here. That has also had 3 coats of clear coat on it, and then I've been wet sanding it, and it will have another 3 coats on it probably tomorrow. So that's all going well. And then tonight I was going to do a canvas, or I've got a pair of Converse trainers to do. There's a charity that I'm involved with called Super Shoes. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but basically any little kids in, I think it's Great Ormond Street Hospital, that are going through cancer treatment or whatever, try and cheer them up. Myself and a bunch of other artists all get together, and this charity pays for the shoes. They ask the kid what they want on them, and they ship them to us. We paint them, we ship them back, and we give them to them as a present. So I've got a pair of those to do, with an Ed Sheeran portrait, which would be an interesting one, on a little pair of Converse. So I was going to do that, but I'm not allowed to show anything about it until the kids got it. So that'll have to be a YouTube video that I upload once the kids got it. So that's coming. So I had nothing prepared. So what I had kicking about, if I go to this one, was this picture by Chris Williams, who also did that picture there of Poison Ivy. He did the pencils and I did the painting, and this is another one of his that I've had kicking around for a very, very long time and never really did anything with. So I thought I'd have a play with this tonight, as I didn't have anything planned. That's it. It's Stourbridge, rained yesterday and today. Yeah, we haven't had we had a tiny little shower. I'm just outside Winchester, so we had a tiny little 5-minute shower last night, and that was it. And that's about all we've had for about a month. So I still don't understand why you would sand clear coat in the first place. Let me see if I can show you, mate. Let's see if I've still got a bit of orange peel on it. Yeah, there we go. So when you spray clear coat, if you're not very good at it, like I am, you get what's called orange peel, which is like, just like it says on the tin, it's like an orange peel texture. So you can see it there, just there. You see that funny little texture going on? So that's the bit I haven't sanded. All those glossy spots are pits in the surface. So I have to come along with some wet and dry paper and sand it so that it looks like all of this here, nice and smooth. That way there's no imperfections in it. See that? See, there's one little spot just there that I've missed. You see that shining? That's a dip in the clear coat. It's all got to be completely smooth like that. And then you can buff it and polish it to a mirror finish. If you've got all that texture in it, it will never be a true mirror finish. When you catch it in the right light, it will distort the image. So it's got to be 100% flat. That's why I sand it. The orange peel, forgot about that little problem. Yeah, and I was using rattle cans. They're very good rattle cans. Specialistpaints.com. They're 2K clear coat. It's nice stuff, but I get a lot of orange peel with it, so that's why I sand it. Very shapely. Yes, definitely, mate. So yeah, how's your week been, guys? Hope it's all been okay.
We got one!
I got one. New follower. What was that? I missed that. Sorry, I missed your name. Whoever that new follower was, thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. You're a star. So, what flesh paints am I going to use for this? I hear you cry. I'm going to use those three. So we've got a nice light flesh tone, and then a slightly orangey browner flesh tone, and then we've got the more redder one on the end there. So this is, for the base, I'm going to use the Lifeline Fair Blush. For those wanting to know exactly what colours I use. So do those have to be activated and have 24-hour shelf life, or is it just a can of spray? Yes, they do have to be activated, mate. And yeah, they only have, I don't think you even get 24 hours. I think you only get an hour or two. But yeah, they've got that in the bottom. So you've got a metal ring on there that you pull off. You put through that thing there, and then you pull this out all the way and rotate it 360 degrees, and that releases the activator that's inside the can. And then you give it a good shake for a couple of minutes, and then you've got an hour or two before it's no good. Doesn't say how long a shelf life you get. No, but I seem to remember it's not long. So once you've activated it, you've got to crack on. Bit of that, a little bit of reducer. I've got 12 drops of that paint in there. I'm not going to use a lot of reducer. I think I'll just use 5 just to help aid the flow a bit. Just like so. And I won't bother with any water, I don't think. No tissue, because I'm prepared as always. I'm so popular. Who's that? Okay, let's start with that bit. I already started this with coloured pencil, by the way, if you were wondering what this colour is. But I don't like it. There we go, that's better, isn't it? Much smoother. So we'll just cover the rest of the flesh parts with that. Rotate 160 degrees. Wow, it's like cracking open a 19th century treasure chamber. Do you have to solve the riddle too, or a puzzle? Yeah, you have to solve the puzzle of how to spray it without getting too much orange peel. Left a little bit of white showing through there just for like a super mega highlight, so that's going to be a really bright spot at the top of her thigh there. If you're wondering what the mask is, by the way, this is that ultra mask stuff that I use a lot of. Yeah, Chris, who did the pencils for this, very talented guy. Let's find him on Insta. Trying to remember what he calls himself now. C-Dub Art, I think. Yeah, there he is. That's him. So, if you're interested, go give him a follow. Very talented chap. He's done loads of really cool artwork. And he's just had a kid. But yeah, massively talented guy. So yeah, Chris Williams, C-Dub Art, 2 B's. So I'm off to get on with my day. When can I expect you back online? I will be back next Saturday, buddy. What surface are you painting on? This is a bit of Bristol board, like airbrush paper type stuff, and I've just got a big sheet of white plastic that it's sat on. Just to give it some rigidity while I'm painting it. Stop it flopping all over the place. No one likes a floppy one. you'll have to be careful with the belly highlights when you're doing pin-ups, because if you make the highlight too harsh, like there is very bright, if I went like that there and left too much white showing, it would make her belly look too round. It would make her look much fatter, for want of a better term. So when you're doing bellies and stuff, always remember to shade it down further, otherwise you're going to make them look a bit too round. Again, that's going to be very bright because of the direction the sun's coming in. See you later, buddy. You have a good evening. Excuse me a minute. Still got a cough from when I had COVID. It's hanging about. Doo-doo. Right. See, it looks way better already. There might be a way to go actually. Start with some shading on coloured pencils and then airbrush over the top. Glad to see you back, mate. I'm just loading up with ice cream, but here now. Good evening, mate. Hope you're alright. What flavour ice cream? I am a fan of the mint choc chip myself. You can't go wrong with a bit of mint choc chip. Vanilla and strawberry. Oh. Yeah, see now that's impressive. Yeah. Can't go wrong with that. You see, that looks so much better already. I'm a fan of coloured pencils. When I started out drawing when I was a wee nipper, it was always coloured pencils. But you get so much texture, which there is a place for. There's a time and a place for it, but airbrushing is just so smooth. Love it. So testing 1 2 3, trouble sending message. Ah. Well, I saw that one, mate. Unless was that you that went off on my phone? Do you mean a message on the stream or another one? Nope, nothing on my phone or anything. If you're trying to message in the stream, I saw that one, but got cramp already. We're doing well tonight. Mind you, I have been sanding that guitar today by hand because I'm an old fart and do it old school. I haven't got one of those DA sanders or anything like that. I've got a drill that I can put it into, but I don't know. I just prefer doing it by hand. You know what you're doing then. You can feel everything that's going on. Andre, good evening. Thanks, buddy. You missed my professional artworks. Professional's a strong term. I just wing everything. Looks great, thank you. I can't take the credit for the pencils. They were done by an arty friend of mine called Chris Williams, who's called C-Dub Art on Instagram if you want to go check him out. We've collaborated a few times over the years now, where he does the pencils and then I paint over the top. I like doing collaborations like that. Don't know all about sanding. Been prepping and blowing. I can't read. Been prepping a bowling pin today and body filling. Nice. Yeah, you've been having loads of fun. At least mine was only sanding. I didn't have to do body filling as well. That body filler gets everywhere. I always remember when I worked with Beej down at Customised Perfection back in the day. We had a paint job come in that was a beach buggy, and Beej had to put True Fire all over it, and I stupidly volunteered to prep it, and I spent about 3 days sanding this beach buggy that was British Racing green before we got near it, and yeah, every orifice was just filled with green paint for days. And that had loads of body filler that had to go on it. After your Jessica Alba guitar, you're a professional to me. Oh, thank you, mate. I don't think the chat likes long stories. I tried to tell you about bad experience trying to get a camcorder to work for streaming. It was a big failure. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Mine was tricky because this thing is, blimey, I mean, I bought it when I started my YouTube channel, so it's got to be 12, 15 years old, something like that. It doesn't have a USB out or anything. All it's got is a HDMI out. So I had to buy this little like adapter. So from the camcorder, I've got a HDMI lead coming out of it that goes into my little HDMI. It's like a USB stick with a HDMI input on the back of it. So it comes out the camcorder, plugs into that plugs into the PC, and that's what's doing the video here. So yeah, that wasn't easy. I also had to buy a battery converter so I could plug it into the mains, because this just ran off of batteries. So after a couple of hours the camera would die. But on Amazon, I think it was, I found it's the shape of the battery, but it's got a wire coming out of it and a plug. So the battery is plugged into the bottom of the camcorder here, and then the wire comes out and then gets plugged in, so it's got permanent power, and then the HDMI into the PC. So it's a bit of a convoluted way of doing it, but I managed to get it to work. It was certainly cheaper than buying a new camera, that's for sure. The Jessica Alba guitar, by the way, Andre, needs a bit of work. Let's go to that one. She's up there, and she's been a bit bashed up over the years, so I've got to sand her down, give her a bit of work, and her torso, just here, like the rib bit, is going pink for some reason. I don't know why. So I might make that a future stream, sorting out the pink bit, and I'm thinking of airbrushing another picture of Jessica Alba on the back. Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. We shall see. There are some very cool images of Jessica as, is it Nancy in Sin City? So there's a lot of really cool images to choose from. And also, for some reason, the rear pickup has stopped working. I don't know why, so I've got to take her apart and have a look at why that's happening. Quite heavy on the neck because I shaded her neck a bit too much, and she ended up looking like she had old woman neck. If you know what I mean. And zoom. See, old woman neck. So go heavy with this paint to knock that all back. And then shape the face. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Weird Girl Gaming, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well on this Saturday evening. There. See, that looks so much better already, and that's just using one colour. Right, so that's that colour done. Just fading in a bit, so starting here and I'm going that way because of course the light source is over this side, so I'm just doing a quick fade over the whole thing that way, but not on the face, just on the body, so that it'll knock back. Like there was some harsh highlights across her ribs there, so now the highlight is actually faded starting from there. You see it like fades out there and then gets brighter over that side. Just makes it a bit more believable. Camcorder is a mini DV, no HDMI, just iLink and USB, and of course can only use USB. But Windows 10 won't recognise. Ah, that's annoying. So I'm looking for a cheap camcorder with HDMI, which I will plug into my capture card. If it helps, my camcorder is a couple of £100 now, I think, because like I say, it's like 15 years old. It is a Panasonic doesn't actually say what it is. Oh, there we go. So it is a Panasonic, get a pen and paper, HDC-SD60. That's what I'm using. And it's got a cracking zoom on it. I absolutely love the zoom on this thing. I mean, it has trouble focusing when you really zoom in. And it would be right on the boob, wouldn't it? That's going to get me banned, isn't it? But yeah, that's my finger. It can, yeah, it does struggle with focus when you're really zoomed in. But no, don't zoom in on the boob, zoom out. But yeah, I've got no complaints, and like I say, I've used this camera for making all of my YouTube videos, all my streams, everything for the last 12 or 15 years. It's got quite a good mic in it as well. Obviously I'm using this boom mic, but the mic in that is quite good. If you look back at all my old YouTube videos of when I was in my Shedio and stuff, that's just using the mic and the camcorder. This is looking great. Thanks, Weird Girl Gaming. Much appreciated. Just cleaning my airbrush out, ready for the next colour. Yeah, it was a great zoom, wasn't it? I swear to God, I didn't purposely point it at her boob. Honest. You do believe me, right? Right, just get all that out of there. That's one thing I find about flesh colours, is they dry in the paint cup really, really badly. I'm guessing it's because they're such a light colour. There must be like there has to be white in it. It's got to be, so I'm guessing that's why. But you just end up with loads dried up in the paint cup. And of course, if you leave it in there, just say stuff it and keep going, then it starts to flake off after a while, and then you end up with these paint flakes going into your paint and blocking your airbrush. Is your mic XLR or USB? That is just a cheap 20 quid USB microphone from Amazon, mate. It does say a make on it somewhere. Pseudo-tac. It's a Pseudo-tac USB boom mic that was about 20 quid off of Amazon. And it's very, very sensitive. I've got the gain turned down about half at the moment. And I'm talking quite quietly because if I talk normally, I'll blow your heads off. Do you still use the harder in Steenbeck Infinity? I do, mate. It's a bit worse for wear. There she is. All the chrome's coming off. But yeah, I still use her on occasion. My trusty little Infinity. The only reason why I use my Iwata Micron is because the trigger reaction is much nicer than the Infinity. It's the Infinity's trigger has almost like a bit of delay on it, so you'll pull the trigger back and not much will happen, and then it will start happening. Whereas with the Iwata, it's instant, but it's by no means a complaint. The Infinity is a cracking little airbrush. It really is. And the Takumi one, I don't know Takumi, mate. I don't know that one. I don't own. Is that an airbrush? I don't own any Takumi airbrushes. I don't think. And I've got, who's that? I've got this cheap thing that doesn't even have a brand on it. The Takumi CM from Iwata. No, this one is actually an Iwata. It's not a Takumi. I've had it for a good long while. Right, so I'm going for the same mix again. So I've got 12 drops of the Createx Bloodline Deep Blush now, which is slightly darker than the original flesh tone. There's the flesh tone that I was just using, and there's this colour. So you see it's more of a browny, it's basically that colour but with a bit more brown in it. Takumi is just a new model micron from. Ah, right, I see. Yeah, mine's old, so it's not got Takumi on it. It does say Japan on it, CMSB Japan, so it might have been made by Takumi. What's this? Your device will restart. No, it should not restart. I don't care if you've just done a Windows update. I'm busy right now. If I suddenly disappear, it's because my PC decided to restart, alright? Hopefully it won't. Iwata bought a new series called Takumi for the custom micron and the Eclipse. The trigger is more sensible and with new models. Oh, okay. I've been out of the whole airbrush scene for so long that I've missed out on the whole Takumi thing. I stepped away for a few years and learnt to tattoo. Add a bit of water in this. So I've got 12 drops of that, what was it called? Deep blush. And then 5 drops of the illustration reducer. And then I've just got a tiny little amount, a tiny little squirt of water. Just to aid in its flow, make it a little bit more transparent. Itchy nose of doom. Flipping hay fever. I've been tempted to get a CMSB for 290 quid. Is that all? Wow. Do you know what? I highly recommend them. It's all just tools to use. Exactly that, Andre. I can do everything I can do with the SB, I can do with the Infinity. I don't know what the Infinity is cost-wise these days. When I got my Micron, it was around about 400 quid. So of course the Infinity is much less than that. They used to, I don't know if they still do, but they used to call it the poor man's Micron. And the people at Harder and Steenbeck are really nice. Not saying that the people at Iwata aren't. I've personally never really spoken to anyone at Iwata. I'm sure they're lovely people. But back in the day I had a lot of dealings with Harder and Steenbeck. And yeah, proper nice people. Oh, nice bit of tip dry there. Reds and oranges come out really punchy on this camera, I've noticed. It doesn't look that harsh in real life. It's almost like the camera or the streaming software like ups the saturation a bit. In fact, it'll be the streaming software because I know that the camera doesn't do that. From when I've recorded other videos but been straight to... I used to record straight to memory card and then import it into the PC and then edit it. And it never used to do it, so it must be something to do with Streamlabs. Well, not Streamlabs, I'm using OBS Studio now. There's my stencil, look at that. I looked for my stencil and there it was, there's a first. In January 2021, Iwata took over Harder and Steenbeck. That's right, I think I remember you saying. Yeah, so even Harder and Steenbeck are Iwata now. Funny how things turn out, isn't it? You're waving that airbrush like a wand. Do you feel the flow? Yeah, I just wave it about and hope that it doesn't all spill out the cup and go all over my lap. Now, I find with flesh tones I tend to wave it about quite a lot because I'm trying to do such a minimal change of tone. So like around here, I'm trying not to go over the original colour, but then I'm trying to get the nicest fade. So I'm quite a way away from the paper. So I get a wide spray pattern. Obviously the closer you are, the smaller the spray pattern, you'll get a focused dot. So I'm trying to stay quite far away from the paper to have a nice wide smooth spray pattern, but I also don't want to lay down too much paint, so that's why I'm moving quite quickly. And praying that all that paint in there doesn't go bloosh all over the place. Which has never happened, honest. Best new Japanese make at the moment is Mr. Hobby. See, without trying to sound judgmental or anything like that, that just sounds like a budget make, doesn't it, Mr. Hobby? Doesn't have the same kind of impact as, you know, Iwata or Sparmax or something like that. Mr. Hobby. I'm sure they're fine airbrushes, don't get me wrong. I really should get back into doing the reviews. If any airbrush companies are watching and would like me to review their kit, please send it. Although saying that, reviews are always tricky because especially when it comes to airbrushes, what works for me might not work for someone else. So I've always said, over the years, people have always asked me what airbrush would I recommend, and I've always said, that personally I like blah blah blah, but I highly recommend you trying out different ones if you can. Try before you buy if you can. I think in the States they have that, don't they? Or they used to. Used to have airbrush shops where they had airbrushes set up so you could try them out. I don't know if they still do it or not. They certainly didn't do it over here. Krios. Maybe it's because you seem much better. COVID and back issue dragged you down. It really did, mate. That was a crap month. That wasn't fun. Busted my back, laid up for a week. Mrs. went down with COVID. Then her MS flared up and she ended up having a relapse. And then I caught COVID off of her. And Bex has been off work for ages. She only went back to work tonight. Bless her heart. It really knocked her over. Her MS has really played her up because of COVID, unfortunately. But luckily she seems alright now. Like I say, she's gone back to work tonight, so she'll be knackered when she gets home. How do you feel about Ecto 1 situation? It sucks, doesn't it? It really sucks. I am 2 issues from the end. The last issue I got was the one with the sniffer on the roof, the red barrel thing that goes around like that. So I think I'm 2 issues from the end. And that really sucks. For those of you who don't know, there's a company called Eagle Moss that do weekly part builds, where you subscribe and every week you get a model part, and each and every week you build it up. And then at the end of a year or 2, you end up with this model. Well, I started the Ecto 1, the Ghostbusters car. Must have been, 2 years ago it started, something like that. And we've all got, some people are one issue away from finishing. I myself am 2 issues away. And they've gone into administration. So we've all got these big expensive models. I mean, how much have we spent on it now, Mark? It must be 1,200 quid, something like that, by now. And we can't finish it because they've gone into administration, which is really annoying. Although luckily I could finish mine with my 3D printer, which is what I plan to do. I think I'm just going to ditch the Eagle Moss roof rack, which is the last bit we're doing. I'm just going to 3D print one, I reckon. I'm planning to overhaul all the electrics in mine anyway. I'm not sure whether to make it an Ecto 1A or the Ecto 1 from Afterlife, but because Wayne is, you might not know, I don't know, but Wayne is very kindly giving me his Ecto 1, which is really nice of him. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep Wayne's as it is. And I'm really contemplating making mine Ecto 1A from Ghostbusters 2. But I'm not quite sure how to do that. It's got the side panels with all the scrolling messages and all that lot down it. That's going to be the tricky bit. Everything else I know how to do, but those signs that scroll the message along, says Ghostbusters, we're back, call 555, all that lot. That's going to be an interesting one. Who's the fine looking lady you're painting? Hi Steve. This is a drawing by one of my arty friends called Chris Williams. He goes by the name of C-Dub Art. Squirtbart. We've collaborated a few times in the past. He's the one who drew that poison ivy that I painted. He's a very talented and very nice guy. And yeah, like I say, we've collaborated on a few things over the years. Because I do love a good collab. About 1,300 quid, yeah. Yeah, I know it had to be around that. It's a lot of pennies, isn't it? For a paperweight. At least we've got to the point where it can be salvaged. You know, if I was missing body panels or something, because it's all die cast metal, so if I was missing like the rear wing or something, or a door or something, then there would be it would be very hard to make something like that. So at least I'm at the point where I can just make the missing parts. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I'm planning to film mine with Arduinos and have loads of lights and different siren. I would like to power up the proton packs, although I don't think I'm going to use Eagle Moss's proton packs, because they're as bad as the flux they massacred on the DeLorean. They're awful. So it's a little bit dusty because it's been sat over there for a while, but I have that, which is a lot better. And it's hollow, so it will take a circuit board in there. So I think I might do that. Much better. And that was a free STL file as well. That was just from, do you know the website Thingiverse? That just came off of there. If you got a resin printer, it can print those tiny little details at that scale, so. It's all the workers at Eagle Moss I feel most sorry for. Like Zoe on the customer service on Facebook. Poor lass. She's had to deal with everybody moaning at her for month after month. She's always been super helpful, and now she's out of a job. Which just sucks. I know everybody's angry at Eagle Moss right now, but I hope to God they're not taking it out on her and the rest of the staff, because it's not their fault. Next week, got a vid interview to do with an artist in New Mexico. Have a good evening, mate. have a good interview. Thanks for popping in. Hope to see you next week. Workers always get broken end of the bottle. That they do, buddy. That they do. Do. Zoom in a bit. Zoom. And not just because I'm doing the boobs. Honest. Artwork Upgrades has a free STL file for the roof to finish. Oh, fantastic. That's cool. I'll go have a look at that later. Yeah, I think Chloe's making her own one as well, isn't she? Her stuff's amazing, but I can't afford it. Sadly. I bet hers all lights up and moves around and all sorts. Because she's clever like that. But sadly, I haven't got the budget for that, so I'm going to have to just 3D print mine. He says as he's planning to rig it up with loads of electrics and stuff. No one's got any money anymore. Ain't that the truth, bud? Isn't that the truth? Everybody's struggling at the moment. It's a shitty situation the world's in at the minute. But I always try and look on the bright side. You know, I've got a roof over my head. My family's well. You know, I'm not one of these people trying to cross the channel in a deflating rubber dinghy, or one of those poor Ukrainians that's been kicked out of their home that they've been in all their life, or anything like that. So things can always be worse. Right, now the fiddly bit, the shadow from that flyaway bit of hair. It's probably where you won't see a thing, just the back of my hand. Who's that? Oh, it's my mum. I'll reply to her in a minute. It's my mummy. Yeah, that's cool. Although I feel that her upper torso might be a bit more shaded than her lower part, I feel. Maybe. Forgive the slurp noises in the background, that's my dog. Let's hope the world sorts itself out soon. Yeah, we can hope. I have a feeling it won't. I have a feeling this shitstorm we're in at the moment isn't going anywhere soon. Unfortunately. Alright, Marshall. What's up, buddy? Alright, big man. Yeah, I think her lower torso needs to be a bit darker, I think. It's just a bit too bright. Obviously her leg needs to be very bright because of the angle it's at and where the light's coming from, but I think her belly needs to be shaded down a bit more. So we'll go back to the original flesh colour. Are we all done with this one? Yeah, we're all done with this one. We'll get rid of that. Like so. Music sounds like ZX Spectrum. It's It's just some Spotify playlist thing. Streambots Lo-Fi. It's some copyright free playlist for streamers. So I've got a little plugin running on my OBS Studio that connects to my Spotify and just plays it out to you guys, but you have to be careful what you play so you don't get copyright striked. Nobody likes a copyright strike, do they? Which happens a lot on YouTube. You just got a fart in a video on YouTube and somebody copyright claims it. Those were the days, weren't they? The ZX Spectrum days. That was my first ever computer, the ZX Spectrum Plus 2. What was it? The 128K Plus 2. The one that had the tape deck built into the side of it. That was great, that was. Okay, so I've gone back to the light blush, sorry, fair blush, get it right, which was the original flesh colour. I'm just going to tone down the belly a bit, it's a bit too bright. That's better. I'll name that human in one. Used to get some classic tunes on the Spectrum, didn't you? All that 8-bit audio. Four colours on the screen at any one time. Game's loading in under 6 minutes. Unless your tape went wonky. Okie dokie, so that's looking cool. So now we come to a point where what colour do I use for the shadows? Do I go more brown or more red? That is the question. Do we go more cappuccino or more rosé? Because I've got this colour, light olive gold, but I've also got natural lip. I'm thinking maybe natural lip. Maybe go more towards the red. Because there's going to be a lot of brown, because there's trees and stuff in this, there's going to be a lot of brown anyway. Yeah, so let's go more towards the red, I reckon. Natural lip it is. huge chunk of dried up paint on the top of the bottle. Don't want that falling in the airbrush. It'll cause me all sorts of issues. Notice it's actually starting to get dark now as well, like 8, 9 o'clock. Winter is coming. Right, so this one I'm going to reduce a fair bit, not hugely. So I've got 5 drops of that natural lip. I'm going to go with 5 drops of the reducer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the illustration reducer. And then a squirt of the good old H2O. Just like that. Give that a shake. Which looks ever so dodgy on camera. I'm going to have to start holding my hand up here and shaking it like that, aren't I? I forwarded the email for the STL files for it. Ah, thank you, Mark. Okay, so... and zoom in so you can see the colour change with this. Come on, camera. Sort yourself out, right. Oh, shush. Mummy's not due home yet. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Yeah, you see how watered down I've got it? You can hardly see it at all. It's just nice and subtle. Just like me. There you go, you can see it better there. Dread FX Custom Paint, just popping my head in to say hi, great channel with a top artist. Ah, thank you, my friend. Much appreciated. I hope you're doing okay this evening. Come on, camera, sort yourself out. There we go. Is the monster Kraken rum? That would be cool, wouldn't it? A promotional, like, advertising image for Kraken rum. I bet it would offend a few people though, considering it's, alas, not weighing very much. A few people would probably get upset. Swap her head for wings. Dear. They're gonna have nightmares now. That's a mental image I'll never get rid of. Dear. Good mate, just getting over COVID. First day back in the studios, made up for it with 5 videos on the channel today. Nice mate. Glad to hear you're over COVID. Has it left you with a rotten cough? Mine has, and it will not go away. It's one of those coughs that's alright as long as you don't cough, but as soon as you start, that's it, you start choking and you go red and the veins in your neck pop out and people think you're dying. Which is not a good look. And 5 videos in one day is a lot. It used to take me an entire day to edit one video. But I did use like Adobe After Effects and stuff like that. It was a bit complicated. Considering what I used it for, it was a bit complicated really. Who's that? Mark's Mods, there's your email. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, you can see the red on camera, that's good. Really want to start doing some live stuff soon. Yeah, do it, mate. I gotta admit, sometimes it's hard sticking to a schedule. As people who watch me regularly know, there's been quite a few weeks where I haven't been able to make it. You know, a tattoo's ran over, or I've ended up being ill, or a migraine or something. So trying to stick to a schedule every single week is quite a struggle. But it's really good. It's a great way of connecting to your viewers. You know, you get like a little community going and regular viewers and stuff, and it's really nice. I highly recommend it if you can do it. Very little money in it, so don't do it for the money, that's for sure. So if you just want to do it to connect to your audience and have a chuckle, then it's well worth doing. Booby shadow. I can't remember if I actually subscribed to you, DreadFX. I know I've watched your videos. Let's have a look. DreadFX custom paint. There you are. Yes, I do. Good. That's all right then. For some reason, I couldn't remember if I actually subscribed to you or not. Guys, go check out DreadFX on YouTube. Give him a subscribe and all that lot. Nice guy, very talented. And if he can do 5 videos in one day, then the guy's a master. I started watching you years ago when you first started. Wow. Back when I was thin. When I was skinny and better looking. Yeah, the old airbrushing kind of took a bit of a back burner while I learnt to tattoo. Mia, shush. Thank you. I think we started at about the same time. Ah, cool. So your YouTube's been going for a good while then. I hear Ed Hubs is relaunching his. He's someone else I used to watch a lot. Good old Ed. Right, we can zoom in a bit now so you can see more of what I'm doing. Plus I'm doing the boobs again, so I have to zoom in. Don't know if you can see that on camera, but my paint is quite watered down. So every now and then I'm stopping just to use the air from the airbrush to just dry it before it spiders. It's worth keeping an eye on if you have like very reduced paint. Sometimes it's worth just stopping for a sec and just using the air to dry it so it doesn't spider on you. It doesn't look too good now. He's how How old is Ed? I can't remember now. But all those solvents over all those years, they don't do you any favours. All custom painters look like crap as they get older. Have you tried the Krios PS771 yet? I haven't, no. I didn't even know that Krios existed until this evening. Excuse me. See a lot of cough now. And he's off. Bloody COVID. Have lungs like rainbows. We do have very colourful lungs. Where's your mask? I know I'm a bad monkey, but I don't know. It's such a small amount of paint I'm spraying, and it's 99% water, so it'll be alright. It'll be alright. What's the worst that can happen? Is that a custom micron? It is indeed the Iwata CMSB, but it's the old Iwata one, not the new. Can't remember. Was it Tasumi? It's not that. It's the old Iwata one. I've had it for a few years. If you like that microphone, give the Krios PS771 a go, you'll be impressed. Okay, cheers mate. Let's have a look. PS771. Let's go there. Krios PS771. Yeah. That's not a bad price at all either, is it? Wow. £173. That's on eBay though. Hobby tools. Everything airbrush. Have they got it? Mr. Hobby. 289, 270, 267, 290, 771. Oh, so it's 295 quid over here. That's not bad. That could be worse, couldn't it? Oh, it's got a black bit with gold numbers. Oh, interesting cutout as well. Wow, that looks like a funky little airbrush. I shall have to give that a nosy. Shame there's no pot of gold in them, yeah. My Microcom CMSB sits on the shelf. Do you know what? I would. I'm quite tempted to make a little display for my old Infinity. Retire my Infinity and make a little display. I saw somebody on one of the Facebook groups used a wooden wine bottle and like trimmed it down. A wooden wine bottle box, sorry, and trimmed it down so it was the size of the airbrush and had it in there. And I thought that was a nice little display idea. I like that. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that for my old Infinity and retire the old girl. She's been through a lot, bless her. She deserves a rest. Little bit of blush, just like that. That is difficult to hear you. Oh, sorry mate, hopefully that's alright now. Maybe I was muttering a bit. I moved my mouth away from the mic a bit when I was looking at the internet then. Yes, put the Infinity in the bin. That's where mine's going. Oh, you're not a fan, mate? I love my old Infinity. That's done me proud for many, many years, that has. I have the Infinity as well. I got the one with the ring that allows you to line it up on a ruler to make perfect. Oh, yeah, I had that. I lost it years ago, but I had that. Evening, Mr. Savage. I'm all good. I hope you're alright, mate. Yeah, I had that funny little round attachment that went on the end of the Infinity. I don't think I ever used it once. But it was very cool. You can tell I'm concentrating because I've gone quiet. Fiddly bit. You don't want to overdo the shading on the face, but you want to make it have enough depth. Had a bad experience with H&S and no more. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Old and more crispy. Aren't we all, bud? Aren't we all? Especially this week. Maybe it's in the dog. Leg stick, 6 fingers. Why did they make dyslexia such a bugger of a word to spell? I mean, that's just mean, isn't it, really? Somebody somewhere was having a laugh at dyslexic's expense. It's not fair. Out of order. Right. So if I move my camera around there a bit, then do that, and then zoom. Not to the point where it can't focus, though. I'm going to paint her lips using this same colour. Because if there's one thing I dislike is, like, if I went in and did her lips with a red, it would make her look like she's just got bright red lipstick on. And it wouldn't look right for this painting. So, because, you know, she's in the jungle, she's got no makeup on. So I find with lips, personally, it's best to use your darkest flesh tone. And then it kind of looks about right. You'll have to try the Infinity Challenge. Have a look on the channel for the blindfold challenge. Ah, okay. Just looked at my CM and it's a CMSB. Hey, same as mine, mate. I got this joke from a Benny Hill show when I was about 13. Good old Benny Hill. Quality TV. You'd never get away with making programs like that now, though. There you go. So her lips look darker, but it just looks a bit more natural and not so makeup-y, if there's such a word, makeup-y. Love the corny music they did. I used to use the Benny Hill theme on all my time-lapse back in the day. Every time I started a time-lapse bit on one of my videos, I used to start the Benny Hill theme, and then I got copyright struck. It was alright for years, and then all of a sudden every video I had uploaded got a copyright strike. I took a class with Drew Blair. Ever heard of him? I know Drew Blair. The guy is a master. What he can do with an airbrush just makes me sick. The guy is insanely talented, he really is. Nice guy too. I've only spoken to him a couple of times over the years, but every time I have, he's been a top guy. He's really nice. Ooh, I got a blockage. Oh my god, I got a blockage. Let's see if we can spread that through. There we go, gotcha. So you know what I was saying earlier about leaving paint in your cup and it all dries on the side of your cup in there and then a bit flakes off and blocks your airbrush? Well, I just did it. The class I took was photorealism. I really wanted to get in on the one he had where he does horses. Oh yeah. Yeah, I would love to do a photorealism class with him. One of his like portrait ones. And I'm probably going to butcher her name here, so if she sees us I hope she forgives me. But Marissa Utali, is it? Utali? Again, insane talent. She's another person I would love to take a class off of. Just so I can say I have. And the amount I could learn off either Drew or her would be amazing. They're two incredibly talented artists. Right, so I need to have one last shadow tone on this, and it's going to need to be more of an actual shadow, some more blacky, browny kind of cappuccino sort of colour. Oosterly, that's the one. Thank you. I hope she never sees this video. That'd be embarrassing. I've followed you for years, but I can't pronounce your name right. But I love your work. Right, what brown shall I use for the shadows? I have a lot here. I have an awful lot here. Okay. They're all a bit light. That one's very light, so we don't want that one. Deep olive gold. That looks like it might be a good one. Actually, that one looks quite nice. What's this? Intrinsic shade. It's a nice looking one, that is. I was at one of the Airbrush Action getaways. I hope to be able to go again soon. Oh yeah, I'd love to go on one of those, but it's a bit of a trek from the UK. One day. One of these fine days. Oh, I haven't used this paint in a while. It's all thick. Lots of shaking. Shaky, shaky, shake. What time we got? Oh, 5 to 9. Cool. The missus will be home in about 15 minutes. Now, I don't want this to be too strong, so I'm really reducing it. So I've got 5 drops of that in the old paint pot. We'll go 5 drops of the reducer. So I find if you use too much reducer, then it kind of erases the paint on the surface again. Like reactivates it and wipes it off. Very rarely go above the same amount of reducer to paint ratio, and if I need to reduce it further, I just add water. It was like losing my arm when Airbrush Action went out of print. Yeah, it was a shame, wasn't it? What was the other one? There was one that wasn't specifically airbrush. It was like Artist International or something like that, but it had a lot of airbrush work in it. That was cool. And yeah, I was gutted when that went out of print as well. Sadly, there's not a lot of print magazines that will survive these days. Even Pinstripe and the Custom Graphics mag, I bet their readers' numbers for actual physical print have gone down over the years. still have some of those magazines, especially like the issue where a guy does sand dollars. Yeah, I've got a ton of the magazines kicking around as well. My favourite one has to be one where Armando Hurata, he did a step-by-step in it. That's my favourite one, because I always admired his work. He wasn't a particularly nice guy from what I understand, but his pin-ups were incredible. That's a lovely little shadow colour. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. I didn't even realise. There you go, just putting a shadow there. Just using this, it's like a bluey grey, but with a bit of brown in it. Intrinsic shade. It's a really nice colour for shadows. That damn Photoshop. Yeah, bloody Photoshop. It costs me a fortune every month, that bloody thing. After seeing the sand dollars and how simple they were to do, I went and retrieved a 5-gallon bucket full of them and sold 8 while walking through swap meet. Oh, awesome. Edward Reed, I learned to draw eyes from him. I don't think I've ever heard of him. So again, I've really watered this down quite a bit, so every few strokes I'm just stopping for a second and drying it off with the air from the airbrush. 1996. I can always tell when the tip is freeze dried by the sound. Looking good. It's good. So I'm not going everywhere with this colour, just where the heaviest shadows are. So like underneath this octopus arm, underneath the leg here, there'll be a bit in a crotch area. Only a bit. Just like that. There wouldn't be any under that arm there, there wouldn't be any there, but there would be some down this side of her torso. Just got the new Jeff Beck, Johnny Depp 18 album today, not bad. Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I didn't realise how good Johnny Depp was as a player, guitarist. It wasn't until the whole Amber Turd thing was on Way Over Telly I actually heard him playing at a gig, and I must say I was pleasantly surprised. That guy can play. Have you ever used the Pash AB Turbo? Do you know what? I have never ever used a Pash in my entire life. Never got my hands on one. No, actually, no, that might be a lie. The first ever airbrush I ever picked up was a single feed model thing. You know, like the ones with the glass bottle that clips into the bottom here. and the trigger just goes down. That's it. It doesn't go back at all. It's either on or off. That might have been a Pash all those years ago, but that would be it. That would be the only one I've ever used. Not through choice though. I've just never got my hands on one. I find it's a great tool when you get used to it. Tell you what is really cool. Saves me a lot of aggro. This little beastie. I think it's a Spar Max, but it doesn't say any make on it. But the old trigger, it's got a 0.5 needle in it. It's fantastic for base coats. That little beauty saves me quite a bit of time sometimes. What time we got? 8 minutes past 9. I better call it in a minute. The old missus will be home and she'll be wanting a cup of tea. Just making the shadow under her chin darker. Tip dry. They're very strange and hard to use at first. They do not spray like other airbrushes. You kind of have to hold your hand differently, and it sounds like a dental tool. Nice. So they take a bit of getting used to then. The AB Turbo has a needle that goes back and forth really fast. It's why it doesn't suffer from freeze up. I see. Yeah. Used to make me chuckle when back in the day you had all those people who were, admittedly I was one as well, but you'd have all those people obsessed with stopping tip dry, and it took me a while to realise that, you know, we're spraying, or most of us anyway, are spraying a water-based paint that air dries, and we are propelling it with air, so it's gonna dry no matter what we do. Tip dry is just one of those things that we just have to learn to live with. And as soon as I realised that and stopped being obsessed with different reducers and additives and stuff like that to try and stop the tip dry, as soon as I was just accepted that tip dry is something that's going to happen with airbrushing, it was almost like an epiphany. It's just like, yeah, okay, it is what it is. It's going to happen. Just crack on with it, you know. I mean, there are things out there that can reduce it quite a bit and make it less of a problem, but it's going to happen. When you're using water-based paints, it's going to happen. There we go. And there, so I don't drop it and bend the needle. Zoom out. Yeah, she looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with that. what I do is listen to how the sound changes when I hear the sound change. And yeah, exactly that. It's yeah, you get to know your airbrush and how to look for signs that, you know, you got tip dry or whatever. It's yeah, like I say, the change in the air's tone, you hear it just change pitch or whatever, and you're like, yep, okay, tip dry. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to call it there, guys. I must go make the missus a cuppa because she'll be home in a second. So take care. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I will be back next week. All right. So it's taken shape. Hey, nice work. Cheers, buddy. So one of these buttons is my closing screen with my sexy theme tune. Where is it? That one there. Cool. Thanks then, guys. You'll take it easy, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.